Have you ever stopped to wonder how a humble pumpkin went from a wild squash growing in ancient fields to a symbol of magic, mystery and lattes? Believe it or not, pumpkins have been on an epic journey, crossing oceans and cultures, transforming traditions along the way. Stick around because I'm about to spill the seeds on the astonishing tale of pumpkins. You won't believe where this story takes us. By the end of this video, you'll see pumpkins in a whole new light, and trust me, there's a twist that'll make you rethink your next pumpkin spice latte. So let's dive right in. Let's journey back in time. I'm talking over 7,500 years ago to ancient Mexico. Picture this: early civilizations wandering through wild landscapes, stumbling upon these curious, hard-shelled fruits. They weren't the plump, orange pumpkins we know today. They were smaller, bitter, and kinda gnarly looking. But hey, when life gives you wild gourds, you get creative. These early folks thought, why not give this a try? So they began cultivating them, selecting the best ones season after season. Little did they know they were planting the roots of a global phenomenon. Imagine being the first person to say, this could use a little domestication. Talk about a visionary. And here's a fun tidbit. The word pumpkin originates from the Greek word pepon, meaning large melon. Who knew our orange friends had such a classy etymology? Makes you want to sip tea with your pumpkin, doesn't it? But hold on a second. Pumpkins weren't just a food source. Oh no, these folks used every part of the pumpkin plant. Need a sturdy mat? Weave some dried pumpkin strips? Got a pesky ailment? Time for some pumpkin-based remedies? It was like the Swiss Army knife of the ancient world. Who knew pumpkins were the original multitaskers? They even roasted the seeds for snacks, a tradition we still enjoy today. Ever find yourself mindlessly munching on pumpkin seeds and think, I'm connecting with ancient history? Probably not, but now you can. And get this, some cultures used hollowed-out pumpkins as containers and bowls. Talk about eco-friendly. Zero waste before it was cool. Take that, modern sustainability trends. Now, let's set sail across the seas. When European explorers arrived in the New World, they discovered more than just gold and spices. They found pumpkins. Can you imagine the first time they saw this big, bright fruit? What is this orange orb, and can we eat it? Spoiler alert, yes, you can. So they decided to bring these curious plants back home. Picture a ship loaded with treasures and tucked among them a stash of pumpkins. Talk about the ultimate souvenir. Forget fridge magnets, they brought back produce. And thus began the pumpkin's European escapade. But the journey wasn't easy. Many plants didn't survive the trip, but pumpkins were tough cookies, or should I say tough pies. Their hardy nature made them perfect candidates for transatlantic travel. Once in Europe, pumpkins started popping up everywhere. Farmers began experimenting with them, and before long, they were a common sight in gardens and markets. They even wiggled their way into stories and legends. Remember Cinderella's magical ride? Yep, a pumpkin coach. Who needs Uber when you've got enchanted gourds? But here's the kicker, pumpkins weren't just for fairy tales. They became a staple in European cuisine, especially in pies and soups. Imagine attending a medieval feast and being served a hearty pumpkin stew. Fancy, right? Artists and writers were smitten too. Pumpkins started appearing in paintings and literature, symbolizing abundance and prosperity. They were the influencers of their time, no filters needed. But here's where things get a little spooky. The Irish had a tradition of carving turnips to ward off evil spirits on All Hallows' Eve. Trust me, carving a turnip is no easy task. Those things are tough. So when they arrived in America and met the pumpkin, they thought, well, aren't you a big orange canvas? And just like that, the jack-o'-lantern as we know it was born. Talk about an upgrade. The legend of Stingy Jack took on a new life, with pumpkins replacing turnips to create those iconic grinning faces. Can you imagine Halloween without pumpkin carvings? It's like Christmas without Santa. And let's be honest, carving pumpkins is way more fun and less hazardous than carving turnips. Plus, you get to scoop out all those seeds for roasting. Bonus snack. Quick intermission, ever wonder what a pumpkin's favourite sport is? Squash, okay, I'll stick to storytelling. But if that pun made you groan or giggle, why not smash that like button? and subscribe to join our patch of curious minds. Don't leave me out here in the field alone. Back to our tale. Pumpkins didn't stop at spooky decorations. They became the star of Thanksgiving desserts. Can you imagine Turkey Day without pumpkin pie? That's like a party without music. The early settlers were introduced to pumpkins by Native Americans who showed them how to cook this versatile fruit. Legend has it the first pumpkin pies weren't pies at all. They were hollowed-out pumpkins filled with milk, honey and spices, then baked in hot ashes. Talk about rustic cooking. Over time, the recipes evolved, and the pumpkin pie became a symbol of harvest and gratitude. It's the piece de resistance of holiday dinners, a tradition that fills both our plates and hearts. Fast forward to today, and we've got a full-blown pumpkin craze on our hands. Pumpkin spice, everything is in the air. Lattes, candles, dog treats, you name it. If you can pumpkin spice it, someone has. Did you know there's even pumpkin spice deodorant? Now that's taking seasonal freshness to a whole new level. And let's not forget those giant pumpkin contests. Ever seen a 2,000-pound pumpkin? That's one heavy squash. Farmers dedicate their lives to growing these behemoths, and the competition is fierce. It's like the Olympics, but for pumpkins. Social media feeds explode with pumpkin-themed everything every autumn. Hashtags like #pumpkineverything and #squash goals trend worldwide. It's official, we're all pumpkin obsessed. Remember when I said this story would take you places you wouldn't expect? Here's the twist. The pumpkin isn't just a fruit, it's a global icon. From ancient rituals to modern traditions, pumpkins have been weaving communities together for millennia. Who would have thought a simple gourd could have such a massive impact? Mind-blowing, right? But here's the real kicker. Pumpkins aren't just about fun and food. They play a significant role in agriculture and sustainability. Their seeds are used for oil, their flesh for animal feed, and they help in crop rotation. They're the unsung heroes of the farming world. So the next time you pass by a pumpkin patch or sip that spiced latte, remember you're part of a legacy that spans continents and cultures. It's not just a seasonal trend, it's a timeless tale of growth, adaptation and connection. Kind of deep for a squash, huh? So, as we wrap up this unexpected journey, consider this. From ancient fields to your favorite cafe, the pumpkin has been a constant companion through human history. It's witnessed the rise and fall of empires, the blending of cultures and the changing of seasons, all while just being its orange, round self. Pretty wild for something that started as a humble squash in ancient Mexico, don't you think? And who knows where the pumpkin will roll next? One thing's for sure, it's not just a fruit, it's a storyteller. And its story is far from over. If you enjoyed the history of pumpkins, click now to watch a video detailing the nutritional value of pumpkins and how they can be used with livestock.